on Cityline. It's all about pumpkins.
We are gonna carve pumpkins. She came dressed to, like, I don't know, remove mold in someone's house.
We've got the pumpkin carving tips you need, and the outfit is just the beginning.
Everybody's face was like this.
Yeah, right? Well, it does look pretty suspect, I'm not gonna lie.
Then forget your pumpkin spice latte. We're going next level with pumpkin-infused food.
That's delicious.
Right?
I know, I'm gonna take a bite too.
And later, Leanne's got all the clever tips and tricks to decorate your home this Halloween.
What goes on in your brain?
It is circus music all the time.
Right?
Just circus music, yeah.
It's brilliant is what it is.
It's Cityline with Tracy Moore.
Welcome to Cityline, everyone. It is so good to see you today. So our show today is all about pumpkins, and we're going to start things off with that one tradition that can get a little messy, but it's also really fun. We're going to carve some pumpkins, and the only person I can think of with the tools and the know-how, Leanne Oh, so we're carving pumpkins.
We are gonna carve.
We're gonna carve pumpkins. She came dressed to, like, I don't know, remove mold in someone's house.
Like, is this necessary to carve pumpkins? No.
Yes.
But when it's Cityline, I will never turn down an excuse to be ridiculous.
Which is why we love you.
Well, thank you, which is why I love being here with you.
So let's talk carving the pumpkins.
Yes.
Because this is a tradition. My kids absolutely love it. I'll have to check in with them at 15 and 13 if they're still into it, but I think they are. And I love the fact that we are going to do this your way, because your way is always a little bit different.
Well, it's different, and different doesn't mean better. Different might just mean messier.
Yeah.
But I think that this is actually much more efficient.
Okay.
So
All
we're
right.
going to start with our good old pumpkin here.
Yes.
Now, step one, Tracy.
Yeah.
What do you typically do with your pumpkin?
I introduce myself. Hi. How are you?
Do you name it?
Do you mean with the Yeah, maybe a name.
With the carving.
Maybe a name. Oh, with the carving. Okay. So with the carving, I would usually cut out the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or
we
could cut out the bottom.
Oh.
See what I've done here? Actually, let me
Okay.
just give it a little pop here. I've cut the bottom out because this will actually allow it to sit nice and firmly on the ground, but allow us to access the candle underneath and hide all of the carving at the top. Now, I also want to point out, you see the little notch that I did here?
Yeah.
When we place it down, you don't have to spin it trying to find the way that it sits straight.
You're leaking, your water broke.
There's guts. It'll always sit perfectly once you have the insides carved out.
Yeah.
But here's why I love it the most. When you carve the top, after a couple of days, if you do the carving ahead of time, which I like to do, I like to enjoy my jack-o'-lantern early in the season, it starts to shrivel and the top falls inside.
That's true.
Right? And then it never sits properly.
Yeah.
Also, if you do candles and you're reaching in or out to either turn on the battery candles or light them, you can worry about burning yourself and getting all the gunk on yourself. So now you can just lift it out. So why have
I never seen a pumpkin carved from the bottom? Like, this is very smart. This is a good way to do it.
It's easy to do. Again, just lift it off, place your candle, and put it on like a lantern.
Well, and also the raccoons come around and they're like, what's for breakfast today?
Self-serve
So
with
now
the lid
it's
off.
like they can't do that if it's at the bottom. I love that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so we already saw some of the guts come out, but that would be our next step. And how do you typically de-gut?
Okay, so we just get in there with a spoon and scoop it out.
You would use a spoon, or you could use
an ice cream
scoop, which works really well. Or I went to the dollar store and picked up this guy, which I have found to be so useful because it has the little kind of serrated edge on it.
It looks terrifying.
So this
is perfect for this.
Well, it's a bigger scoop to get the guts out, but it's also great for scraping the inside edges for all the stringy bits that are in there as well.
Yeah, okay, good.
Right?
You got that shot there.
Or, there's a big or.
There's
if you have an egg beater, you can actually use this inside, and this kind of gets all of the gunk loosened up. If you have electric, even better.
Oh.
Right? But you know what I like?
What? This actually works really well.
It does work really well. I put the little egg beater, the whisk, in the end of my power drill.
Okay.
Because more power means a faster project.
I didn't know that that could attach to that.
Right? And we are going to let her rip on the inside.
Okay.
look at, if you can see what's happening.
She's making spaghetti squash.
Right? Look at all of all of those extra guts from the inside that come out.
Great.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Cleans
good.
it out so efficiently. So I love me a power tool whenever I can.
Okay, so you're already like heads and shoulders above most people when it comes to the carving. So you showed us how to carve it from underneath, how to take all the guts out. Now what?
We're gonna go one step higher.
Now we're gonna draw some eyes?
We're gonna go above the head and shoulders, and we're gonna go higher.
Okay.
So next, you would typically, as you said, draw the eyes. What do you use to draw?
I use a Sharpie.
So Sharpie's great.
Yeah.
Because it helps you plan out your design, but it lets you plan once. So if it doesn't look great, you're kind of stuck with all of the marker lines.
Yeah.
Versus using a dry erase marker. So this will help you plan a lot better. And if you say, oh no, I overshot my design, I can just wipe off the black marks or clean it up afterwards, which will make life so much easier. I love this too if you're carving with kids, then it lets them kind of draw and they can make their design. And if you're anything like me, I used to let them draw whatever and then carve whatever I wanted after. And then go, oh, look at your pumpkin, it turned out beautiful.
So good.
Right? But they don't need to see that you didn't carve all of their design, you wipe it off.
Right.
So with this, you can draw the design, or you can use these little guys. These are basically cookie cutter pumpkin punches.
Ooh.
So with these, if you actually notice, I put these on ahead of time and trace them so that I could lay out my design. But then, once they're traced, and you can see, I have the bottom half of this one too, you basically just punch right through and then pull them out, and you have perfect,
look at
clean
the
cuts.
It comes out with it, which is so cool.
Cuts.
So what do? Did you just hammer that in there?
So basically, you just kind of line it up as I had the design drawn.
Yeah.
I just kind of pierced the edges and then used a rubber mallet just to tap through. Little nose job action happening there, and then you pull it right out. So
you thought of everything.
Again,
that's so cool.
I love this because there's no knives involved, so kids can really partake in this. You don't have to worry about the over slicing. And I always, when it comes to the jagged teeth, I'm always cutting the teeth off, and then went to the dentist, I guess.
Yes.
So
well, I always say to them, it's supposed to be ugly.
Right.
It's Halloween.
Right. Exactly.
But this is so like clean, crisp, beautifully done.
It is very clean. Yes.
What else do you do differently than us common folk? What else you got?
I'm sharing all the tricks. So now, once it's finished, it goes out on the porch. It's lovely for a day. And then the squirrels have a buffet, right?
It's delicious.
So here's what we're going to do to avoid any rodents hanging around.
Okay.
First things first, if you've got a pet, give them a little spa day and a brush and take some animal hair. This is from my dog, and put that inside. Before, obviously, we're not lighting candles at this point, and when you are lighting candles, that comes out. But having the pet hair in there will send off the scent of an animal and keep rodents away.
Oh my God,
so that's one little tip.
Everybody's face was like this.
Yeah, right? Well, it does look pretty suspect, I'm not gonna lie.
But it works if it keeps them out.
The other thing you can do is go into the pantry. Paprika, squirrels do not like. Cinnamon, garlic powder, and used ground coffee grinds. Or you can take all four to really make your chances, go all the way here, and make a little mixture and sprinkle that on the inside of your pumpkin. And the scent of all of these will repel animals.
See, I've never heard that tip before. How many years have you been on the show? Can we talk about her
just happened to have
shaker?
A little squirrel shaker.
That's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. This little shaker, I thought it was straight out of 1983. She's like, no, it's mine. I go, is that yours? No, it's mine. Sorry, it's very cute.
One last quick tip. A little petroleum jelly, rub it on the cut lines, and that will keep them from shrinking, moisturize those lips, and then put a moisture grabber inside, and this will stop it from rotting. A little moisture grabber, and this will last you weeks now outside.
LA, I'm so happy you wore that
Bing, bang,
suit.
boom.
Look how messy you got.
Right? So messy.
Right? Just a little bit of that.
Had
there
to
you
make
go.
it worth my while.
Yeah,
there we go.
you go. Let's go to break.
Yes.
We got more coming up, including some no-carve options. Coming up, Sarah Gunn has pumpkin-inspired florals, and I lend a helping hand. Am I allowed? Do you trust me?
Oh, go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
She didn't answer the do you trust me part, but she did say go for it.
I did say go for it.
Welcome back. It's all about pumpkins today, and Sarah Gunn is here with some pumpkin-inspired florals. we take the flowers, we take the pumpkins, we put them together. We have a Sarah Gunn specialty. I know you love florals.
Just a little.
Was it challenging to figure out a way to do this with pumpkins in mind?
It was challenging to figure out ways to make the colors really work with the season and combine the two of them a little bit. But you are seeing a lot of these trends online too already.
Yes.
Right? So that sort of guides you in a direction, and then we just want to, for the show, we just want to elevate it a little bit.
Right. Well, we want to make it Sarah Gunn pretty.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So we're going to start with your one all the way in the end, which I think is stunning. I like it that I like the white pumpkin.
I like the white pumpkin too, and the fact that it's faux is really functional as well. You can do this in a real pumpkin. So if you're going to use a real pumpkin, the thing to keep in mind is you're going to have to cut it and clean it the way that you normally would, obviously in a hazmat suit and all of that, and then stick a vase in there, right? So that's sort of an added step. If you're using a faux one, you cut it once, you can use it every year, and then you can do just floral foam inside. That's what I've done inside here. And then you can go with whatever colors you want. And you could paint your pumpkin too, whatever color you want.
Yeah.
But when you're styling it, I just want to give you a couple of tips. So to start, you want to create a bit of a collar of greenery that you see around the front here. And that sort of hides any of the jagged edges. I think you can see it a little bit because the cut's not smooth, okay?
Right.
It's really not. So that hides sort of that and any of the stems. And you don't need long pieces of greenery at all. You just take a little piece, and that's where the floral foam is so great, is you can have it draping out really far, or you can really, really tuck it in there and it's going to stay in place. And that's true for all the flowers. So you want to start with your biggest blooms first. They're absolutely stunning. Spread them out evenly, sort of in a triangle formation, and then sort of go in and weave in medium and then small and then smaller details, and then you end up with this gorgeous centerpiece. I like to do it on a Lazy Susan. So as I'm doing it, I spin it around and make sure that every side is absolutely perfect. You can put this on your table for a centerpiece, your mantle. I was joking earlier that I would probably bring this with me every room in the house and just sit it wherever I'm sitting so I can enjoy it.
That's what you should do. But move it room to room. Wherever you are, the pumpkin floral should go.
Right.
But I always have a hard time with the green around, the trailing green. So it's the floral foam and the taking the small pieces that makes it so that it's going to cover.
It's a lot easier that way. If you're trying to do a really long stem, then you're forcing it in really far, and that's not going to work. You have more control this way to sort of pull it in and out, and then fill in any empty spaces.
Okay, gorgeous. Now they're real. These are not faux. They look so pretty.
These are real.
So you got the beautiful color of the season, but you did this in a special way that makes it look like just so perfect.
Well, so instead of doing flowers in a pumpkin, let's do flowers inspired by the colors of pumpkins. And I got to go this weekend, I'm still smiling, to a floral farm.
A floral farm.
Fresh Market Farms is a farm in Hamilton, and you can go and pick. You walk in the fields and you pick whatever flowers you want.
She's losing it right now.
This is my idea.
The best Sarah Gunn situation ever, but that must have been gorgeous.
It was amazing. And believe it or not, it's less expensive than buying them in store. So you can get more value for your money. Plus you have the expertise of the people there telling you what flowers work well together, how long they'll last, even some arrangement tips, which is really, really amazing.
Do they give you the tools?
No.
Or do you bring your own?
No, they do. No, they do. They give you the tools. Yeah.
Okay,
no, you don't have to bring your own shears.
Just checking.
So I also like to bring, this is a vintage champagne bucket that I have at home. I like to use more cylindrical vases. So I like to bring them with me too when I go shopping, wherever you're going for flowers. And then you know you're getting the right quantity. Because so many times people just buy flowers, you get them home, and then you realize, okay, only half of your vase is full. You need a lot more than you think, but there are tricks to make it feel easier, which I'm going to show you with a mini version of this one. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so I've got this little mini one here, and just like the big one, I've added water, and I'll tip it a bit. I've added some chicken wire in here, and that's really going to help you position your flowers and hold them in place a lot easier than just popping them in. And again, you're going to start with your big and beautiful blooms, and you're going to just set them in, sort of creating that triangle look. And again, I've got this on a Lazy Susan.
Yeah, so you can move it around.
I can move it around as I need to.
See, that's what happens when I do it. They all want to lie down.
Right, but this will kind of tuck them in there for you, right?
Yeah.
And then you want to add in some different sizes at different heights and different angles.
Am I allowed? Do you trust me?
Oh, go for it.
Okay.
Go for it.
She didn't answer the do you trust me part, but she did say go for it.
I did say go for it. And then you've kind of got these different sizes and these shades of peaches
I messed
and oranges.
it up.
Wait,
Should this be there?
No, I like them at different heights. No, because this
okay.
is sort of like a country bouquet, right?
Okay.
And then let's spin it a little bit, right? And then I'm
Yeah.
going to add in some yellows too, because I just feel like, I know pumpkins aren't necessarily yellow, but it just adds a little bit of contrast of color. Go for it. Just pop one in there.
'Tis the season for all of these harvesty colors, these warm colors. This guy's driving me nuts.
Is he too high for you?
Yeah, he's a little too high for me. I feel like you need
you
need to calm down. There you go.
See, and look, and then you just spin it around, and it's just a very casual, easy arrangement. You can put that anywhere. It's so, so pretty.
Beautiful. Okay, so I love the idea of using chicken wire, or like Leanne had the avocado, the avocado hold, like the stuff that holds the avocados.
The netting.
You try those too, the netting.
I'm going to try that.
Thank you for the words. Okay, lastly, we've got these two gorgeous pumpkins. What are we going to do with them?
So we're going to do faux flowers this time, and I feel like a lot of us have some faux flowers around the house. Maybe you use them in the spring. You don't want to use them again this year. They were on a wreath that you don't need anymore.
Right.
And then you've got your faux pumpkins. So we're going to add flowers to them, and all you need is a glue gun.
Okay.
And some flowers in different colors and sizes. And you're going to start at the stem, okay, Trace? And you're just going to put a little bit of glue on there and pop them in place. And you're going to start with larger ones. So I kind of have them organized in front of you there.
Is it me making that creaking sound?
It's me.
Oh, okay. I'm like, how am I even doing that?
It's me. And then you're just going to build, my glue gun lasts for me, some flowers around the stem. And then if you want to be a little asymmetrical,
you can make a pattern.
You can sort of have them fall down aside.
Oh, I love that idea.
If your glue gun is working, which mine has stopped working on me, of course.
You can use mine. I know how to share.
Thank you.
There you go.
And you're just going to gradually build them all. So you have this beautiful, like, draping floral design down the side.
Nice.
And
you
it's
go from
so
big
pretty.
to medium to small.
Exactly. And you could do an equal, you know, shape all the way. You've kind of got that started on here, where you just build it around the top, and it almost looks like a bouquet in the pumpkin too.
Yeah.
And you can go with your colors of your theme. I've done this with a black pumpkin before with just white flowers, and that's a really dramatic look too. So you can do this with whatever colors you have going on in your home. You don't have to go with the bright, but I just thought that would be fun for today.
Sarah, absolutely stunning. Look at that. Very pretty. All right, she's going to come back a little bit later because she's got more DIYs for us. But for now, we're going to break. Stay with us. This is so pretty.
They're fun, right?
Coming up, pumpkin-infused creation. So good, you don't even need to like pumpkin.
I have to admit, I am not a pumpkin fan.
Okay.
However,
me neither. Oh wait, so non-pumpkin lovers will like these pumpkin things.
And pumpkin lovers too.
Welcome back, everyone. We have been talking all about pumpkins today, and shockingly, we have eaten nothing pumpkin yet. So that's why we've got Belicia with us, Belicia Chung, our lifestyle expert. You do a little bit of everything. I was not expecting to have food with Belicia, but let's do it. You've brought the good stuff.
Yeah, surprise.
Are you a pumpkin spice latte girl? Are you all here for the PSL season?
I have to admit, I am not a pumpkin fan.
Okay.
However,
me neither.
Okay.
Wait, put it here. Yes.
However, these are approved by a non-pumpkin fan. So.
Okay. All right, so non-pumpkin lovers will like these pumpkin things.
And pumpkin lovers too.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are sort of maybe a little bit outside of the box of what we think of when we think of pumpkins. And we're gonna start here. It looks like mac and cheese.
Yes, so this is the Annie's mac and cheese with sweet potato and pumpkin. It's vegan, so which is surprising because it's still quite creamy.
Yeah.
But you get a nice balance of a sweetness from the sweet potato and the pumpkin. I like a little bit cheesier of a mac and cheese. So if you're vegan, add nutritional yeast. Do you put ketchup? Are you a ketchup girl with your mac and cheese?
Like, I feel like if I say it on camera, my husband will divorce me. But yes,
it's a safe space.
I like a little bit of ketchup.
Same.
I
Me
do.
too.
So I'm not gonna put it all on top, but maybe just like a little bit,
a little dipper.
a little dip. Yeah.
I'm the same way. And hot sauce.
Oh, hot sauce is smart.
Yeah.
That's
so
a good
I like
upgrade.
to do that with this one.
Yeah, I would. The cheesier the better. And Annie's does tend to be very cheesy. I just never thought in a million years there was a pumpkin flavored version of the mac and cheese, which is cool.
Exactly, and it's real and organic ingredients, which is great because that's a boxed mac and cheese.
Yeah. Well, pumpkin's very good for you too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, do my eyes deceive me, or is that a roti?
It's a roti.
Like, look at this, a full roti on here.
Yeah.
with pumpkin?
With pumpkin. So this is from Ali's West Indian Roti Shop, which is a Caribbean spot in Parkdale, Toronto. They've been around for 40 years, specializing in roti, and this is the pumpkin roti. So it's delicious.
Yeah.
Spices will transport you to the islands. The pumpkin is so soft and warm. It's like a warm hug on a plate, all curled up into a little roti blanket. Oh my goodness, this is delicious.
So can you, like, what can you can get it with like the chana?
Exactly, yes. So this is the vegetarian version, so you can add chana, which is chickpeas, or spinach.
Oh, that's good.
All of it. I want all of it.
That is very good. Okay, so never heard of that in my life, and I'm a roti lover. I also love ramen. So what's happening here with the ramen and the pumpkin?
Yes, so this is Konjiki ramen, which is from the Japanese ramen in Tokyo. It's a very famous spot. They have 1 Michelin star in Tokyo.
Wow.
So ours here in Toronto, we have a vegetarian ramen with roast vegetables, including a roast pumpkin. The broth is so light but creamy and has a delicious umami flavor from the porcini mushroom. Nice. And the pumpkin, which you usually think adds sweetness to a savory dish like this, but because it's a roast pumpkin, it adds a toasted aroma. It's delicious.
That's nice. I've never thought of doing vegetarian ramen, but that's smart. And what are these things here? Because that looks delicious.
Tofu nuggets.
Oh yeah, baby, bring on the nuggets.
Yeah.
That is very good. I was talking about these things right there, right? Anything that looks like a chicken nugget to me, I'm down for.
Same.
Okay, so moving right along, you've got gelato.
We have gelato here. This is allergen conscious gelato from On Third Thought, which is also in Toronto.
Okay.
They do gelato that doesn't have ingredients like nuts, dairy, gluten, soy.
Oh, wow.
You name it. And they make these in-house every single day.
Okay.
They do new flavors like this pumpkin pie gelato. They also have an espresso martini with pumpkin spice. So
ooh, that sounds good to me. Which one's the martini?
In the coupes are the martini.
I'm gonna try one of these.
With real Kahlua.
Oh, with real Kahlua, thanks.
Yeah. So you get a nice seasonal spice.
Oh, that's a lot of flavor.
With rich and darkness from the espresso.
That's delicious.
Right? I know, I'm gonna take a bite too.
You take a bite, and I feel like we should be sharing this with the audience. So does everybody want some? You want some gelato? Let's give them some gelato. I feel like the applause are a little weak. Like a little bit more. Okay, all right. That's what I thought. I'll just bring my little ice cream cart. So here's what you do. I just lotioned my hands, I can't open that. You take a spoon. Oh, and look, they're all individually packaged for you. So we have even more, I don't know, that one's the espresso martini, that one's the pumpkin pie. We have even more pumpkin flavored things to get through, so I'm gonna let Camille go ahead and finish the rest of this, and we're gonna go back and do more. Do you want some napkins?
Yeah, thanks.
Pass that along, we're all neighbors here, okay? You will enjoy that. So the other thing I will say about the pumpkin flavor, never seen it in boba. And that's what you've got for us next.
Exactly. So if you're a roasted milk tea, bubble tea lover like I am, the pumpkin spice takes it to the next level. You can order this from Cha Time as a hot or cold drink. And even as a cold drink, it's still a warm and toasty flavor.
Okay.
They house brew all their tea, so you can order it as a regular milk tea, roast milk tea, or oat milk.
Wow.
And it's limited edition, so get it while it's here. I'm ordering it every day. It's now my new favorite bubble tea.
Oh, was that you're like an everyday bubble tea girl?
Yeah, I'd like to be.
You like it? She aspires to be.
Aspires to be.
Last but not least, the thing that had me dribbling, like I was literally drooling right before we started. It's a donut.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Yes, so these are also from an indulgent bake shop in Toronto called Short and Sweet. They do new menu items every season, every event period, and these are the mini brown butter donuts. Oh. I know. Not your typical pumpkin spice flavor. They use a pumpkin puree in the dough. Bake it, not fried.
Ooh.
Brush the brown butter over top, dip it in cinnamon sugar, and oh my goodness, when I had my first donut, one turned into several.
Of course it did. It's a donut.
Yes.
Do you want to pass that whole tray to me? And maybe I will do some taste testing for you.
Please do.
And you know what? I'm not going to be the only one. Do you all want some donuts in the audience? Okay. Everyone's going to get a donut as well. That's thanks to Belicia. Belicia, thank you so much. It is pumpkin season, even for the non-pumpkin lovers. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
It's very
Coming up, DIY pumpkin decor tricks that move from decorating to dressing.
I was like, what if I gave my pumpkin a Halloween costume?
So cute.
What if I just made it a cute little ghost?
The thought of carving pumpkins, removing all the seeds, that's fun for some people, not for the rest of us. We've got no-carve pumpkins. She's back, LA. You've got all the tricks. Give her some love. Because you're a little pumpkin head. We love you. So what are we doing for Halloween if we're not carving?
Well, okay, so carving can be a lot of work, but decorating permanent no-carve pumpkins can also be a lot of work, but the trade-off is you do it once and then you enjoy them year after year.
Yes.
So I brought a collection of pumpkins that I've made over the years. The collection keeps growing. I'm running out of space. But I do love pumpkins as part of my decor inside and outside. And so I've done a few different collections. The first one I did a few years back, and this was my like mantra collection of pumpkins. The first white one there says, I am fierce, right? So like it's that pump up pumpkin. And then because leopard print is my favorite color, I used some just like little decal stickers to put on there, painted the pumpkin coral pink.
That's nice.
And the little one that's there, the leopard print pumpkin,
this guy?
I just used some tissue paper. So decoupage is one of my favorite things to do, and I actually, as I was pulling all of these, I realized that I decoupaged all of these pumpkins in some way. If you're not familiar on how to do it, it's probably one of the easiest craft projects. You can just tear any paper up, so napkins, tissue paper, craft paper, anything that's nice and thin and light. And then just use some Mod Podge glue, paint it on the outside first, stick whatever medium on, and then paint right over top, like glue right over top, just to seal it. Super, super easy.
Messy.
Make it messy.
Fun. That's why the kids do it in kindergarten,
Well, that's right, because it dries clear, which is so great. So don't worry about what it looks like in the process. It's the end result we're going for. Such as the end result with my photo pumpkins.
I love these.
So my boys, our tradition is that I take them to the pumpkin patch every year. They're getting older, so I hope that this year will continue. And we can start a new pumpkin. But these are different pictures from the pumpkin patch. I also did one from all of their Halloween costumes, including some of my husband and mine. But their first Halloween costumes, some of our just fun family costumes that we've done. And then, of course, I can't do a photo costume pumpkin without doing some of our favorite Halloween costumes from over the years.
You put a turkey on your head.
I did put a turkey on my head. And that was for Cityline, I might add.
Of course you did.
Of course.
Only LA, right there. She's a pumpkin head now, and she's been a turkey head in the past.
This year was maybe one of my favorite, right here. My oldest son with the morph suits. My oldest son was in the green one. My youngest son wanted to be his shadow and got the black one and was lying on the floor.
So
I
love these.
They're good bros.
These are beautiful.
But
Keep
it's
these
nice
forever.
to put them somewhere this out now and we reminisce, right? Look at all the photos every year.
Very
like
nice.
our Halloween photos from different Cityline shows.
They're so good.
So there's some of you on
the creativity. I love it. Okay, so over here, this is good.
Well, so
these
it's crazy where you can find inspiration from. I found this as a white bird cage at a thrift store, decided to paint it black, and then I was inspired by Edgar Allan Poe's poem, The Raven. So I took actually a book that I got very inexpensively, it was only a couple of dollars, and used the pages from the poem to decoupage on there, and then hand painted my little raven that now sits in the cage.
So creative.
So just let the creativity flow. There's so many things that you can do easily and affordably, and that will last you year over year over year.
Beautiful. Okay, so now we're not doing decoupage here.
We're not doing decoupage. We are doing pumpkin push-ins.
Okay.
And if you are searching for things like this online, use that as your search guide. Push-ins, pumpkin push-ins, because I had a tough time at first finding these. And then once I hit on that as a search criteria, the world opened up to me for pumpkin decor. So this one I want to start with, my little fox. How flippin' cute is that?
That's so cute.
Like so adorable. Now these are the push-ins. They're called push-ins because quite literally they've got the little push pin in the back. These are metal, so these can go outside. And they've got all of the little pieces there so you can push these into real or faux pumpkins.
Nice.
And these will last you all season long. So you don't have to worry about the carved pumpkin. These guys I actually found at the dollar store.
That's like a Mr. Potato Head.
Right?
So you can put in the mouth, the eyes, the arms, the whole thing.
Exactly.
That's
and
so
I think
cool.
particularly lovely for kids.
Yeah.
That they can really, again, partake in the decorating experience of this. Found this one online too with the arms and legs, and you could make it in different formations with the arms and legs, but do a whole family. So instead of the traditional scarecrows on stakes, you could do your little scarecrow family. And these two I found at the dollar store.
That's
kind of
just
creepy,
gross.
right? Kind of creepy. But what I loved is you've got the front and the back of tarantulas and rats climbing in and climbing out, which is kind of fun. Now, from earlier in the show when I showed those punch outs, what I would do one step further, punch holes all around and have these kind of sticking in, going into the holes in and out of the pumpkin, and you light that up. That would look amazing. I know we're talking no-carve, but that would be fun.
What goes on in your brain? It is
circus music all the time.
Right?
Just circus music, yeah.
It's brilliant is what it is.
One last thing that I found for the kiddies that I thought was brilliant, because again, we've already talked about we don't want them using knives. We want to make it an activity. I think it's nice if we can extend it as an activity. So I found these sheets that come in a set, and there's some directions of different mix and match for them, and they are all pieces that you layer. So this takes a little more time than just doing push-ins. They can create their own design. So you can see each of the colors is a different layer that then you can just peel and stick and put them right on a pumpkin. So I thought that this was kind of a lovely little exercise that you can involve the kids in as well, and they can do whatever they want, and it's super safe.
That's cool.
This is a project that you could just leave them with it and make it their pumpkin. Doesn't need to be supervised.
There are a lot of parents that want them to take up the time, so that's very smart.
Extend the time.
Yeah, let's just extend it. Okay, so last but not least.
This is where the brain, the circus music kicked in. I was like, what if I gave my pumpkin a Halloween costume?
So cute.
What if I just made it a cute little ghost? So I ordered some really inexpensive, I guess we call this cheesecloth or gauze.
Cheesecloth.
So it's super inexpensive. Cut 2 pieces for each pumpkin, so they're layered. So they're cute as is. Put a couple little vinyl stickers as the eyes, but that's not the cool thing about these. Sure, they're ghosts. That's all fun and dandy. Put these on your porch in the sunlight all day, but when it gets dark and dusky and then really dark at night, I've sprayed the cheesecloth with glow-in-the-dark paint. So these glow, these have this eerie kind of greeny glow to them, and we see the ghost face really perfectly.
That's so cool.
They're really, really cool. And now I just want to spray glow-in-the-dark paint on everything. Right. Because honestly, it's clear, and you can just turn anything into a creepy little Halloween glow-in-the-dark surprise.
Oh, I love that idea. These are like such incredible ways to make your pumpkins. If you want to spend a lot of time, if you don't want to spend a lot of time.
Also fast, exactly.
If you want to be creative, LA's got it all. Thank you so much for that. Let's go to break. We got more coming up, everyone. Stay with us. That's so good. Coming up, some pumpkin-inspired DIY that anyone can do. Mine is finally done.
Oh, it looks good.
And not that, but you said that surprise.
No,
It's all about pumpkins today on Cityline. So Sarah Gunn is back to show how to get creative with pumpkins no matter what your fall aesthetic is. It's not like you're a big orange and harvest color girl. So you can do whatever colors you want and make whatever sort of decor you want this season. What are we starting with? And this is where the elementary school teacher really comes out, by the way.
I know. You know what? As I was making these, it was bringing me back to my days because art was always my favorite subject. So
she was a teacher.
I used to be in elementary school.
You'll be able to
Gunn,
see. Yes, Miss Gunn.
But you can still call me Sarah.
Okay.
But yeah.
I'm allowed.
So let's start with some 3D cutout pumpkins on the top here.
Yes.
And they're really simple to make. Yes. So if you have a paper cutter at home, you can cut out pumpkin shapes and then have different shapes cut out inside. So you've got polka dots there, but I've got fall leaves. But you could do this and like this is what we would have done in the classroom. Trace the pumpkin, cut it out, cut out the pictures.
Yep.
Right? And then you'll end up with 3 of these to make these 3D pumpkins. Okay? And then you're going to choose a contrasting color. So I love pink, so we're going to go with pink.
Me too.
You love pink too?
Yes.
So you're going to take that first pumpkin and you're just going to bend it a little bit. So you've got a scoring tool here, and you can even sort of draw a line down the middle to help you fold it a little bit better, but you don't have to. You really don't.
It'll do it if you press it a little bit.
Exactly.
And this is like proper cardstock, which is why you might need a little help bending it.
Right. Yeah. You definitely want to get the heavyweight cardstock. It just is going to hold everything in position a lot better for you.
Yeah.
And then elementary school, get out the glue stick, and you're going to glue around your shapes with your glue stick. You can use a glue gun for this too if you want to.
There's nothing like a good old-fashioned glue stick. It
Right?
gets the job done.
And then the contrasting color is just going to go over the design.
Nice. Do you care what side I did it on?
No.
I glued? Okay,
No,
good.
not at all. And then see how you'll end up with that. So it really shows the detail of the pattern, which is really sweet, right? So
Nice.
then you're going to do the same thing on the same side. So this time it does matter. So you're going to do it on the back again.
Okay.
And add another color.
I went too hard with the glue stick. It's all over the demo table now. Sorry,
Same here.
everybody.
I know, me
I'm so
too.
sorry.
Mine's
I'll clean
purple.
it up.
We'll clean it up after class.
Yeah.
So then you end up with something like this, and then you're going to just fold your next one. And again, you can use the scoring tool, but look, I'm not this time, and it just bends really easily.
Okay.
And then we're going to glue it onto the first one like that. Okay, so it doesn't matter if the pattern on these little pumpkins matches exactly, because you're not going to see the openings from side to side. You've got that nice solid as your safety.
Beautiful.
And see how I'm just going to add that on there.
So
like
what did
that.
you do now? Oh, so now I add this to this.
Exactly.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
and then you're ending up, I know I'm going a little faster than
No,
you,
no, no,
Trace,
that's
but
fine, that's fine.
You're following along. So then you're ending up with this situation right here.
That's fine, Miss Gunn. I'll keep up. I'll stay in for remedial help.
You're staying in for recess today?
Yeah, I might stay in
So
for
I've
recess.
got that
to
one
finish my
last
craft.
side here that
Yeah.
I'm going to put
Oh, you're going to do this one on this?
the pink.
I'm just going to do it on this rather than doing it all over the
know.
demo table.
And then you've got this.
Yeah.
And you just score your last pumpkin.
And you put your last
And you're going to,
thing on.
this time you can glue the back of the whole thing for the
Okay.
last one.
I'm just trying to fold this sucker.
And it doesn't have to be folded all the way. Just,
Okay.
even if it just has a little bit of a bend to it so that
Yeah.
you can tuck it in.
Beautiful.
And then you're going to glue both sides. I mean,
Okay, so super easy,
Right?
quick craft. You can do. Make it the color that you want to make it.
right.
Mine is finally done.
Oh, it looks good.
And not bad, but you said that surprise.
No, I mean, we've done a lot of DIY
I all know
together.
how I do crafts on this show.
It
There
looks
you
perfect.
go. It's perfect.
It is perfect.
All right, so moving right along, we're going to try and make these.
Yes.
And they're so pretty. What do we need to start with?
Okay, so you need large sheets of paper, like a 12 by 12 craft paper.
Nice.
Heavier weight is great. If you're going to choose a pattern like I did here, you want to make sure that there's a pattern on both sides. Because you don't want
Double-sided.
you're going to see the inside of this pumpkin, right? So we've got
Okay.
that pattern and that pattern, or you could do a solid, again, whatever colors that you want. And I
Okay.
do find, Tracy, you've got a big one there and a couple little ones. I
Yeah.
tried a couple different sizes, and if you just plop the big one down on the table, it's not great.
Boing,
I
boing,
recommend
boing,
just
boing.
doing, it's not as cute. So I like
Okay.
the smaller ones better.
Okay.
So you're going to take your 12 by 12 paper and you're going to cut 4 1-inch wide strips of paper. So you
Okay.
end up with 4 pieces of paper like this.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
And then you're going to take your glue gun. You can use a glue stick for this too, but a glue gun I find just adds a little bit of weight to the base of it and holds it in position.
Plus, it feels fun to use
It's
it.
so fancy,
Right?
And then we're going to put a little bit.
Running out of glue?
No, I was prepared this time. Right in the middle. Right in the middle.
Okay.
And then you're going to, same side up, place a strip across the middle like this. So you're going to end up with
A
that
T.
sort of situation.
Yep.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then we're going to go and do one on a diagonal. Same thing, a little glue in the middle. And then on a diagonal. And then one more time in the middle, on a diagonal, so that you end up with something that looks like that.
Nice.
Okay?
Okay.
And then I already did yours, Trace, but then you just take your hole punch.
Bless you for that.
And you're going to put a hole in the end of every one of these strips like this.
Okay.
Okay? And then you're going to take a pipe cleaner.
Yeah. This
you're
is the
gonna
part I
fold it in
don't
half.
get. So I'm
Okay.
going to watch you do yours
Okay.
first.
So first you're going to fold it in half, so you can do that. Fold your pipe cleaner in half.
Okay.
Up like that. I really do feel like I'm back in my teacher days. Twist it so that
Yeah.
it's wider than the hole. Then you're just going to take those pipe cleaner ends and you're going to feed it through, opposite side to opposite side, all the way around.
Oh.
And then you're going to end up with your 3D paper pumpkins. And they're so
Amazing.
cute.
Like, I know that you've got to string them all the way through, but since we have the final, you can see what the final's like. Just repeat the pattern until you get to the very end, and then this is the little stem.
And then you just twist it down.
Okay. Favorite one.
This is so much fun. I saw this online, and I had to share it with everyone. So you can find these plastic pumpkins everywhere. Make sure, we'll go fast. Make sure you get one that already has the face cut out, and then in a well-ventilated area, because it is melting plastic, use a hot knife. This is a melting knife. You're going to cut the top off of it. You're going to slice it down the back, and you're going to cut the bottom off, okay?
Nice.
And then you're going to take it out to your front door, and you're going to wrap it around your porch light.
Isn't that cool?
And then you're going to turn your porch light on, and you have a jack-o'-lantern on your front porch. I thought that was so fun.
So good.
And you can use it every year. You can paint it whatever color you want. I actually happen to shockingly like it in the orange.
You're keeping the orange.
I know.
That's called evolution,
this year,
maybe.
This year.
Amazing, Sarah. Thank you. We're going to break. More coming up. Stay with us. That's really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know. I love that.
It's time to join the party. We want to shower you with fun, prizes, and unbelievable surprises. Are you ready for this? Head to cityline.tv/tickets and see the show you love come to life.
Now you can have Cityline's experts at your fingertips.
So spill the tea. What's the secret?
Upload your video questions to submissions at cityline.tv. Escape with Cityline.
Welcome back. We are taking a walk down memory lane with our experts. So let's talk a little bit about Halloween. When we look back on Halloween, Halloween's not a big deal for everyone, but for some of us, you know, you hang on to a memory. So do you have a Halloween memory you can share with us?
My favorite memory is actually one from every year when I was young, and that was going to the fabric store with my mom, going through all of the books of all of the patterns and picking out the costume and then picking out the fabric, and then my amazing mom would spend countless nights sewing these incredible costumes, and I have a lot of them, but the one that I found recently was from my very first Halloween when she made me a little Winnie the Pooh with the little bee in the ear.
So cute.
And my parents had me with some balloons walking. I had a little pictures, like just adorable little pictures of me. And honestly, Halloween was always such a big part of my family. My parents loved it. They would decorate the front of the house, and my dad would take me out trick-or-treating. But it's the costumes and the sentiment. Like, they really cared so much that I enjoyed the experience.
I know, it's so cute.
And the thing is, it's so pristine.
It is.
So it's like they took care of your stuff.
They really did.
It's really, it's so
Homemade.
beautiful.
Homemade with
That's
love.
really, really lovely. So nice. Sarah, what do you remember from Halloween? Is there a memory you carry around with you?
Well, I was an adult, but I was teaching at a school in Stockholm, and Halloween wasn't really a big thing over there, but they did want to celebrate it at this international school where I taught. So they decided that they would, and this was like a castle. They decided that they would turn the basement into a haunted house.
Ooh.
And it was already scary just during the daytime. And then not only did I have to go through it, I'm that person screaming the entire time, like wrapped around me like this in a haunted house. I had to go through it several times with several groups of my students, and I screamed the loudest out of all of them. And I knew what was coming. I knew a person was there. No, I screamed every time.
I understand that.
Was traumatized.
It's one thing I don't do. I don't do haunted houses.
Never.
Now, please don't take that and run with it, Cityline producers. I don't want to do it. Belicia, we have a little bit of time. Do you have like a good Halloween memory?
It's not as sweet, but my now fiance, we dated really young, and we had broken up a little bit. So when we got back together, it was Halloween. We were adults at this point.
Yeah.
And so we dressed up as Ross and Rachel because we were on a break.
You were on a break!
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
That is so good. It was a break.
It was a break. Clearly, it was on a break.
It was a break, and it worked out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all your contributions. It was an incredible show. Sarah, LA, Belicia, I love the fact that you brought pumpkins in your own special way onto the show. Thank you to our viewers at home and in studio for hanging out with Cityline today and every day. Stay safe, everyone. We will see you tomorrow. Take care.